Hello, this is Danny Johnson from FlippingJunkie.com. Today I want to talk with you about taking baby steps. And a lot of the people getting started in flipping houses and learning how to get into flipping houses, I think struggle with the transition from learning, from reading things, following blogs like FlippingJunkie.com and reading on forums and places like BiggerPockets and other great forums like that. And the transition from going to that to actually getting out and taking action and finding out what more you need to know. And you take baby steps to make that transition, because if you don't, it's pretty scary, because you're looking at everything you need to know, and it's pretty overwhelming. You don't really need to focus on the stuff that comes at the end just yet. And so when you break it down into smaller pieces, it's a lot easier to get into it and ease out of your comfort zone and really make a good go of getting started flipping houses. So let's take a look. Let me show you my idea of what you need to really know when you're flipping houses. So you can read and learn from websites. I'll just put read here, and then what you learn from taking action would be over here. And so by reading websites like this one, you can, spend some time and learn sort of this, chunk of what you need to know and get yourself somewhat educated. But then whenever you go and start taking action, you find all of this that needs to be learned and understood. And a lot of it just, it's hard to learn and retain unless you're actually doing and taking action. And so if you break up what you can do and take action and need to learn into smaller sections, you're not looking at the whole of what, of what to do and getting freaked out by it. You can just focus on taking it one step at a time and focus. It'd help if I could spell. Focus on just the small section and learn that and understand it and move on to the next one. And then you move on to the next one and move on to the next one. And a lot of times you can't plan out what all these steps are going to be. You just start, once you start, and then you go, okay, I need to figure this out, and then you can move on to the next one and take some action and do that. And that's the absolute best way to get out of that comfort zone and really make a go at it. And so, just for some initial thoughts on what you can do for, some beginning baby steps would be to drive for dollars. And driving for dollars or driving farm areas is where you want to pick a good neighborhood or a good area that you would consider investing in. And good for investment, not necessarily good for where you would want to live or something like that. You're looking for investment properties, usually older neighborhoods where there's housing stock that needs a lot of repairs and stuff like that. So you drive those areas and look for houses being fixed up and stuff like that, and talk to the contractors, look at the houses, and just get an idea for the areas. Another thing you can do is go to the REIA meetings. It's Real Estate Investor Association meetings, and talk to other investors. And don't freak out about going there feeling like you've got to talk to a bunch of people, if you're somewhat introverted like I am. But, just go and sit and listen and see what it's all about. And, it's best if you can, get somewhat out of your comfort zone a little bit and talk to other investors. And maybe you can make some friends with some other local investors. Another thing you can do is put a free ad on Craigslist that says that you buy houses. If you're wanting to get into wholesaling, you could put an ad that says looking for cash buyers for discounted properties that you're going to be finding, and things like that. And don't stress about not knowing exactly what to say when people call. It's not that big of a deal if you don't know. You might want to have a general idea and say, you know, just to ask what questions about the house, what kind of house do you have, how much are you asking for it, how much do you owe, why are you selling it? And if there is something that seems like a pretty good lead, you know, you can call another investor that's experienced and have them work the deal, and you can watch over their shoulder and learn how they do it. But so don't, you know, get stressed out and not want to do something like putting an ad out because you don't know how to handle what comes next. Obviously, you don't want to be talking to people and committing and saying, I'll pay you this much when you don't know what you're doing. But, you know, you've got to start somewhere to find out what to do. And some other things, you know, another thing that doesn't take a whole lot to do is to call some local realtors and see if one of them will be willing to take you around and show you some bank-owned houses. And the bank-owned houses are usually vacant and need a lot of repairs, and so you can go and see what these houses look like and get an idea for what a lot of investment properties look like. So I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something, and you know, if you're struggling with transitioning from learning to taking action and making a go of it, I hope it helps.